But then right after she made the ruling, he goes and he posts about his former Attorney General Bill Barr. And I quote, Ty, I called Bill Barr dumb, weak, slow moving, lethargic, gutless, and lazy, an all caps rhino who couldn't do the job.
What you said recently, which was that, the conduct that was involved with Donald Trump, you said trying to subvert and prevent the progress, the execution of probably the most important process we have, which is the peaceful transfer of power after an election. Name one thing that Biden has done that's worse than that.
I think his whole administration is a disaster for the country.
Even Bill Barr is still going to support Trump. If any of you have been keeping up with Bill Barr and Trump's relationship, it's been wild, okay? They've gotten a lot of great things done in the past, but as far as being buddies after Trump's term, it wasn't happening. But Bill Barr said even though all that happened, he will still put his chips on Trump. And the mainstream media, they have taken off on a rocket ship about this. So I want to react to Morning Joe and Mika here, who two of the biggest liars known to man.
Former U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr, when he was pressed about his support for Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential race. Barr has said that he will vote for Trump, despite previously saying the former president should not be near the Oval Office, and Trump mocking him last week on social media.
So let me get this straight. Bill Barr at first says Trump should be nowhere near the Oval Office, right? That's what he says first. Maybe because they were just mad at each other. I don't know. But now he's saying that he's going to support Trump. Why would he say that, guys? Why would Bill Barr say that? Why would he change course like that? I'm going to tell you why I believe so. It's because Biden has destroyed the economy, the country. He's destroyed our reputation on the world stage. You go down a list. Our borders are wide open. We know all this stuff, but they try to act like none of this stuff is happening and that people like Bill Barr would feel any different than any average American out here,
Here's what he told CNN on Friday night.
I think that I've said this all along. If faced with a choice between two people, neither of which I think should be president, I feel it's my duty to pick the person who I think would do the least damage to the country. And I think Trump would do less damage than Biden. And I think all this stuff about a threat to democracy, I think the real threat to democracy is the progressive movement and the Biden administration.
Basically, what Bill Barr is saying is Biden is trash. And he knows that Trump will get this thing back on track. Okay, as a he threw our country off a cliff, and his administration is total garbage. Okay, that's what Bill Barr is saying, but he's trying to be nice about it.
The Biden administration or President Biden himself?
Biden's support for the progressive agenda.
What you said recently, which was that the conduct that was involved with Donald Trump, you said trying to subvert and prevent the progress, the execution of probably the most important process we have, which is the peaceful transfer of power after an election. Name one thing that Biden has done that's worse than that.
Left the borders wide open. Okay, that's what he's done. Open the borders to criminals. All right. Biden is literally making it okay for criminals to do whatever they please. Literally. CNN tries to act like none of this stuff is happening, of course. We all know the criminals are in charge, and we're coming.
I think his whole administration is a disaster for the country.
Is worse than subverting the peaceful transfer of...
Yes, little girl. Yes, it's way worse. Nobody cares about your democracy. Okay? Nobody cares about none of that. All right? Nobody cares about none of that stuff. We care about inflation. We care about the cost of living. We care about illegal immigrants coming into the country. We got some real American patriots here who actually care about our country and care about our children. We care about the national debt. We care about all that foreign wars that we're in, that we're paying for. Yeah, American people don't want that, little girl.
Power?
Did he succeed?
Only because Vice President Mike Pence stood in the way, and now the people who are lining up to be VP again say that they will not do what Mike Pence did.
I mean, look, I was very loud and saying I thought it was the whole episode was shameful, and I'm very troubled by it, and that's why it's not an easy decision. But I think when you have a
This is why him and Trump didn't end on good terms, because when he started talking like this, he started to sound like a little ushy gushy, apologetic, a soft marshmallow puffy. That's what it, we need some hard, strong men to just stand up against the establishment, period. All right. No questions asked. All right. Not Mike Pence's, not Mitch McConnell's, not Mitt Romney, whatever his name is. Not none of these people. Ronna McDaniel. We don't need any of the rhinos. We are going to eliminate the rhinos from the Republican Party. They need to be on the Democrat side where they have benefited the most. Okay? They need to be on the Democrat side where they have helped the most. They haven't helped the American people at all. Okay? These people are wicked, man. These people are very wicked.
Hobson's choice, you have to pick the lesser of two evils.
You don't see this as the definition of putting party over country?
No.
I mean, Donnie, that is so gross and pathetic.
What's gross and pathetic are these two people right here standing up here lying to your face every single day. They lie with a straight face, and I think that they're starting to believe their lies. Because how come most people in America, okay, you can read your little polls. I don't really believe those polls too much, but I do know this, that most Americans, real true Americans, and they're way more than what the mainstream media can report. Most Americans don't agree with anything that's going on right now in the Biden administration. They don't agree with any of it. Okay? You can clearly see this showing all across the country, all over the place, all over social media, all over Rumble, all over YouTube, all over everywhere. There are more patriots than there are anyone else in this country. True American patriots who actually love the country and want to see people prosper. But these evildoers here on the mainstream media have been lying literally since I've been a little boy. They've been lying to people, okay, about everything. All right. So when Tucker Carlson starts asking questions, and you got people like Ben Shapiro who don't understand why Tucker Carlson's asking questions about the lies that we've been told and why we should actually go back and look at everything else that they've told us and turn over the dirt. When you have people saying things like that, do we know, okay, who they work for? And they don't want us to turn over every stone, but we're going to turn over every stone and get to the bottom of it, and we're going to get to the truth because we deserve to know. Nobody deserves to be lied to every single day, And people like Bill Barr are, he sees through it. Even though he doesn't really favor Donald Trump, it should tell you everything you need to know. He's actually worked with him and spoke against him many times. Okay, Trump does not like Bill Barr, and he's made it very clear. Because what he did, he's backed out. Okay, Trump thought that he was going to be strong, but Trump was wrong. Many of us have hired people, that have not done the job correctly or not been a soldier for that. I've hired so many people to do a simple job, and they just don't. They're not able to do it. Okay, they're just not able to do it. I finally hired my son, and he's been showing up every day, thanking me for the opportunity, and getting paid a lot of money because I raised him. I showed him that he has to be strong. This is cultural. So these liars want to tell you that, everybody's supposed to hate Trump. Okay. Everybody's supposed to hate him when they never talk about the actual policies. They never really spend time on that. It's just hate for one individual. That's all. That's why people can see through it, because everyone's saying, you know what else you got? What else you got? Like let's look at Trump's presidency. Let's look at his term and all the things we got. Now Nancy Pelosi's on here talking about how Biden's created all these jobs and Trump had the lowest job rate ever. When he had the pandemic, and they called her out on this stuff, and she gets angry. She gets angry when she has to hear the truth. These people have been lying so badly to the American people. And it's about time they get exposed, man. Everybody knows that they're lying. They're destroying our economy. They're destroying all businesses. They're literally destroying everything.
And the fact is, first of all, if he did vote for Donald Trump, he would be putting party over country. It's not even a close call. Fact is, he's lying. He's not going to vote for a guy that told him 2 weeks before the election to arrest his opponent and throw him and his family in jail.
Yeah, Joe Biden belongs in jail. They all belong in jail. If you look at James Comer, look up the investigations into the Hunter Biden crime, the Joe Biden crime family with Hunter Biden business dealings in the Ukraine. Okay, when they fired the prosecutor, all right, Tony Bobulinski came forward. Okay, yeah, he should be locking Joe Biden up. Okay, we have legitimate concerns. We have proof that they've laundered money, that they've used their names to make money. That's illegal. You're not supposed to be influence peddling as a president, as a president's son. You're not allowed to influence peddle, sell your dad's name. That's terrible. You're not supposed to do that. They don't have any legitimate businesses. They have a bunch of shell companies that they tried to hide the money in. So yes, Trump is right for telling Bill Barr to arrest them because they're the real criminals. But yet they've hyped up Trump's charges and made it look like he's the real bad guy. Why is it then when Kathy Hochul goes to New York's one of her police officers' funerals that got killed because they allowed someone out of jail, killed a police officer? How come she's not allowed to go to the funeral? How come Joe Biden can't get security detail when he goes to New York to try to go to a funeral, a cop's funeral? Because they know that they're not law and order. The police officers know this. Why? Because they're suffering themselves on the streets as they're trying to combat and lock up real criminals in New York City. And this is not just going on in New York City. It's going on all over our country. We have weak individuals. We have actual criminals in charge of the justice systems in these major liberal cities. Okay, so when Trump is telling AG Barr to lock these people up and to go after his opponents, look, Joe Biden's not a political opponent. Joe Biden's an actual criminal. Okay, I don't care what the mainstream media or how much they run cover for Joe Biden, but he's a criminal. He is a criminal, and it's going to come to pass where this man's going to get arrested. His family members will get arrested. All right, so the lies that they're telling right now, they're going to come to pass. It's going to come to pass where everybody can see the truth, just like the Hunter Biden laptop story that they try to suppress. Remember that? Do you guys remember that when Jack Dorsey was running Twitter and he wouldn't let the story go? They suppressed the story so people wouldn't find out when the laptop story was real. Hunter Biden left his laptop at a pawn shop. Okay? And they said it was Russian disinformation. Come on, man. Come on, yo. You people, you got to wake up and you got to share these videos so people understand what the hell's going on here, because we have real criminals. Like, do you understand the damage that criminals could actually do to our country? Yeah, look at what's happening. They don't care. What would a criminal do if he were in charge of the country right now? Just think about this for 1 minute. What would a criminal actually do if they were in charge of a country like ours right now? Would they secure us? Would they put a fence around us, put a wall around us, make sure that illegal people wouldn't come in our country with a bunch of drugs and things like that, guns or whatever they wanted to? Would they do that? Would you look around on YouTube or news? Would you see law and order? Would you hear about police officers winning the fight against criminals? Would you hear about a lot of drug busts? Or would you hear illegals with homeless people on the streets? Would you see mass incarcerations on criminals, or would you see homeless land on the streets, people breaking into stores, businesses? Would businesses be shutting down, or would businesses be opening? No, the answer is you would see different. Everything would look totally different than that. You would see closed borders. You would see someone fighting to keep us safe. You would see police officers winning the fight against criminals. You would see law and order everywhere. Everywhere you turn, you would hear about children being rescued. You would hear hundreds of, children being rescued from the arms of traffickers. You would see these things. You would hear Hollywood actors going out of business. You would hear the economy doing so much better. Instead of hearing people complain about the prices, nobody can be complaining about prices if they were so low, if the persons at the top knew what they were doing and they were not criminals. Criminals don't care about anybody else but themselves. All right, you have to look at this from a criminal standpoint, literally. Like you got to be objective and say, you know what? How would this look? What would it look like if a criminal was actually running the country? If criminals are running the country, what would it look like? Even though they're in suits and ties, what would it look like? There you have your answer. You just have to look at it from that standpoint. Like, would they be trying to tell you to shut up, or would freedom of speech be a big deal? Would they be trying to censor your speech? Would they be trying to, lie on their political opponent? Would they be trying to throw an ex-president in jail? Why would they have to do that? Why would they have to do that? You have to ask yourself, why do they have to lock Trump up so badly? Why? He's a threat to the establishment. He's a threat to the criminals. Anybody that's strong on law and order, they will try to use the justice system against you. Look at all these other countries that have failed. Look at what they've done. Look at what they've done to their political opponents. Same thing. It's the same thing here with Trump. So the more clear we can look at this, through the lens of someone who loves law and order. If you don't love law and order, you're a criminal. All right.
Kept pressuring Bill Barr to arrest his political opponent. And then January the 6th, he talked about the subversion of the peaceful transition of power. This is a guy he knows who's called for the execution of generals, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who for being insufficiently loyal to him, a guy that's talked about immediately throwing into jail people in the press whose coverage he doesn't like. His people have talked about.
Because it's not coverage. They're not covering any stories. They're lying continually. We have to catch them in lies. It's so pathetic. And they get paid to just come on and lie. And I'm just tired of saying this, but when you come on live, people don't trust you. You have no credibility. You have no credibility. The people that are listening to these news channels, they're full of hate. They just hate Trump. That's it. They don't know why. They're making up reasons why. They're telling you why they've created this mess. Okay, and but we're going to see everything's going to come to pass, and it's going to be revealed when the smoke clears. All right, on who was telling the truth. January 6 tapes are out there. They know the average person is not going to take a look at all that, and they know that they can feed people news clips. Little snippets. Of Trump saying something and twist it around. You know how easy that is to do that? If I were a criminal, I could literally get on YouTube and just lie. I could put together so many clips and twist it and bend it and make it say what I wanted to say, but that's not what I want to do. I just want the truth to be out there. But certainly, and especially if you got some money behind this, you could really ruin somebody's reputation. I just did a story the other day where someone took AI and manipulated it to get someone fired from a job. A teacher got a principal fired using AI to manipulate his voice into saying racist things. That's how desperate some people are to have people locked up that they don't like. So if you think that these people are telling you the truth just because they're in suits and ties and their names are well known and people love them, yeah, no, that's bullcrap. And these are not real people. They're paid actors and actresses, literally. That's what they are.
About arresting us, arresting the people who run this show the second they get in power, look to the camera and say, we're coming after you. And of course, Donald Trump talking about, trying to get me thrown in jail and executed. I could go down a long list without ever bringing my name up. But this guy's talking about, he said he could use SEAL Team 6 to execute political opponents and they couldn't arrest him. And his lawyers argued before the Supreme Court last.
Guys, don't believe anything these people tell you. Like, don't believe any of this, man. Okay? Just don't believe it. These people need to go to jail. They really do. They need to be arrested, man, for lying and misleading people. It should be a crime to do that. It should be a crime to get on TV and lie like this. It's terrible. So whenever it's not working anymore, we haven't seen Al Sharpton come out and talk about racism and how racist Trump is. I'm pretty sure that's coming soon when they need to stoke some racial division. That'll be coming up here on the menu, I'm sure, pretty soon. That's the thing. Like, why on earth can't they just talk policy? You can't beat him. Just like Stephen A. Smith said, you can't beat him. That's why you're doing this. You can't beat the man. Why don't you beat him on the issues? Beat him at the ballot box. Beat him on the real issues. You can't. You know that. Why? Because most people love Trump and they hate it. All right. I don't do a lot of videos on polling because I don't believe in these polls, man. They talking about Trump is, up 49, 43. Trump is smoking this guy. OK, he's smoking Joe Biden so bad they can't put the real numbers up there. That's my opinion. That's my honest opinion. Yep, I said it. Hey, guys, I'm going to leave it right there. But please don't believe anything these people say, man, because they have been lying since I was a kid, literally. And we caught these people in so many lies, it's not even funny. All right, people chanting fake news wherever they go. All right, and that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be because they are. Trump was right. That's the perfect name for these people. Fake news. They're fake. They're Hollywood actors and actresses. That's what they are. And they sit up here with a straight face and their evil grins. And most of the people that work with them, they know that they're lying, but they don't care. But they've created a vitriol and such hate for Trump every single day that they just go on that. They can make it. They can make their viewers and listeners hate Trump so much. And Vladimir Putin. Don't forget about him. Vladimir COVID Putin 19. It was his price hike. I heard Biden keep saying that. In his administration talking about how it was Putin's fault. That, inflation. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's a damn lie. It's a damn lie, bro. No, it's not. So Bill Barr is right to support Trump. He's right to support him. And it makes sense to support him. Okay. It does not make sense to support any Democrat because look at their cities, look at their states, look where they operate things. Look how it turns out. Look at Bidenflation right now. Okay. They can make up all the lies they want about inflation, but it's because of the Biden administration. All right. Under Trump, never. Okay. Gas was $2 to $3 a gallon. Some places probably $1 and some change. All right. All right. I don't care how he did it. He did it. All right. And guess what? People like that. People love it. People want lower costs. They don't want us to have freedom. They don't want us to, be able to breathe and have families. These people are wicked. All right. So anybody standing in their way, that's what they're going to do to them. And they'll do it to you, too. If you were standing in the way and you were powerful, you were a billionaire and you spoke against them, this is what they would do to you. All right. Lie on you. OK, if they have to. They already said that they already said that they would do anything legally and illegally to Trump once he won the election to get him out of there. All right. They said this live on air. So they tell you exactly what they're going to do. And I'm not making this up. They actually say it. They say it. So like, share, and subscribe, guys. And until the next time, this has been Yup, I Said It.